Okay, let's see if I can do this. And it's a very crude drawing. For being an artist, I'm not great at doing these little, whatever, random sketches. But this is kind of what I saw when I talked about past lives. Like, this is our current life and time travel. This is our current life. So it's like the game, if you've ever seen the game of life, I'm using that because it's a perfect example. Your current life is like the game board for the game of life. Now in that game, there's like a spinner and you have a little car. You start here and you have a little car and you move along each space. The spinner tells you how many spaces to move each time. You each take your turn. And then as you move along, you have like, you go to school and you get some money, or you lose money and you have a kid, you gain some money, and then you buy a house, you lose money, etc., and you go through the game. And then, so this is your current life. Now this is what I drew as your ephemeral self. So here you are, your physical self and your current life on your game board, your current life. You're the little car with the person driving the car. That's your real physical self, always moving. So you're never really in a reality of time because every second is passing away. You're always moving through time, and this, your current life. And as you move along, your ephemeral self is here, your higher self. So that's where you really, or I feel you could time travel, because everything is metaphysical, spiritual. Anyway, there really is no reality, but you're the one who can go back and forth through time mentally, right? Through meditation, etc., through memories, through immersion. And so you, and also, let's say right here was where you met your best friend. April 19th, 2011, you met your best friend. And then you go through life, and then time matches up, and you have on this day when you're 35 or whatnot, you remember just out of nowhere, oh, this feels just like the day I met my best friend. That's because it's lining up. You line up, and then you go back, and here you are, you're like 80 or whatnot, and all of a sudden you go, oh my God, this is just like the day where I met my best friend, or this day where I got my perfect job, or I got married, or had my first child, and all you have, time matches up. And that's where I feel like it's really where you could have great time travel experiences, and you kind of do, because time is all aligned together with the same feeling and the same experience. And so you really do have almost a time travel experience of, I experienced this again, and then I'm experiencing this right now, and then in the future, and almost like we have deja vu where you can experience the future. Now, and then you get to the end, and that's the end of your life, and you go back to your ephemeral self, which is your real self. Now here you are, you're aligned to and tied to your past life experiences. Here's a past life, here's a past life. So here's your past life where you knew somebody who you keep thinking in this life for no reason, like me and John Lennon for some weird reason. And you and your person that you feel aligned to, Cleopatra or Napoleon or JFK or Michael Jackson or all of them. And that's because in this past life, you knew them. You were part of their life. And or maybe in this life, you were together in this past life. Maybe it wasn't this one, but this one. Or maybe you're together in all these lives. And it's all tied like a cord. It's all aligned. And that's why you feel drawn to these people, places, things. But can you time travel? As I said, we only have right now. We only have right now. You're that timepiece that can't go back or forth. I mean, yeah, you can go forward. You're always moving forward. There is no real time because you're always moving time. Every second you live is gone. The only thing that is really your real reality is that you're in a house all the time, or your job, or your school, or your what have you, your whatever, your car, and the people, your family, your friends, the people you're with the most, your pets, because that's your reality. That's the constant reality. But minutes, time is always gone. Time is really just a concept. As I'm making this video, time has already passed away and it's already in the past. So time really is not a solid concept. Just like our ephemeral self, our higher self is not real in this reality. But it is the reality, because at the end of it, it's the only thing that's left. Our body fades away, this game board is gone, our life, as it is, and we go back to our real self. So you say, is time travel possible? I say yes, but not in a physical sense, because there really is no physical time. So it's more about, could you visit your house again? Could you time travel? through that. That's the part where it's hard, because those things decay as well. Anyway, so you could go through these. You could, through meditation, through immersion, through manifestation, and mindfulness, you could visit all these different times and past lives and this. But probably the best way is when it all lines up, when time grooves line up together and you experience and feel the same feeling of time, and it clicks together like a lock, a locker lock, with the combination that clicks together. But the only reality is this ephemeral self watching over it all. And again, you can't move backwards. It's locked. It's only moving forward. I talked about timeline shifts. So let's say you move forward a space or back a space. That's where I feel we have timeline shifts. And the reason why we can't physically, well, we're not allowed to go back, take our timepiece back and experience something over and over, because we would go back, and we would go back to our favorite time, to our favorite moment, and we would create all these game boards. Like, if you remember Windows, when you hit the wrong key and you get all these windows that pop open, and then you have to shut them all down, it would create duplicates and carbon copies, and then you'd have dissonance in the universe, and it would create so much data in the universe and mess with what we have right now, which is the only reason we're here really, is to experience right now, and that's mindfulness, be here now. If any of that makes sense, I'm going to go ahead and post this. That's my ideas on time travel. Thanks for watching. Bye.